Hello, I'm the Eternal Newbie. The extra L is for lawyer. Lawyer because today we're going to talk about rules lawyers and how to do it. Or, more importantly, how not to do it. When I first started this channel, it was about lessons and stories. I've kind of gotten away from the lessons, and I think I'm going to try and get back into that a little bit, but don't worry, there's still a story here. A good one if I do say so myself. Before story time though, you know how it goes. Let's take care of some business. If you like this video, check out my others. I've got bunches by now, including my brand new Spotlight Player videos that drops on Fridays. I've also got a separate game channel that is currently going through Store Control Origins, and after that, who knows? Could be anything. Finally, likes, comments, even dislikes, I guess. Really, any kind of attention. And especially subscribes are greatly appreciated. My self-worth is totally tied to my subscriber number, which I assure you is quite healthy. Rules lawyers. People have very strong, often negative feelings about them. I mean, I hate those guys, don't you? Bunch of handsome devils. I mean, rotten geniuses. I mean, paragons of virtue. Okay, I've got a confession. I, the Eternal Newbie, am a rules lawyer. No, wait, hear me out. I think rules lawyers get a bad rap. At least some of us. I'll get more into this in a Spotlight Player video, but as far as I'm concerned, there are two kinds of rules lawyers. The first kind, my kind of rules lawyer, we just want to play by the rules. For example, if I do a ranged attack with an enemy in melee range, I will remind the DM I have disadvantage if he forgets. Like I said, good or bad, I want to play by the rules. The other kind of rules lawyer, the one that gives all of us a bad name, is the one that will point out the rules only to their advantage. They will never remind the DM when they have disadvantage, but sure enough will say anytime someone attacking them does. So I say to you, fellow rules lawyers, let's stop letting these bad people give us a bad name, and let's take back our term. Wait, strike that. They can have the rules lawyer name. Let's come up with a cooler name for us. How about rules judge? No, that's the DM. Maybe rules bailiff? Keeping with the court motif. Ooh, I got it. Rules sheriff. I've been looking for an excuse to wear a cowboy hat. That's not bad. Wait, what am I thinking? I know some amazing creative people that can come up with a much better name. You! My dozens and dozens of fans. Can you come up with a better name for a good rules lawyer? Let me know in the comments. So yes, I am a rules lawyer. The good kind in my opinion, but there is one more thing rules lawyers do to turn people against them, something I in the past have been guilty of. Most rules lawyers don't know when to shut up. The story I'm about to tell you takes place with a party I've talked about a few times before. I'm playing Danther, the sometimes hapless paladin. We're fighting gods now as we're getting ready to wrap up the campaign. I thought the beard was a nice touch. These battles are tough. I'd missed the first part of the most recent one because of a real life commitment. Francis, an annoying player I've talked about in the past more than once, actually died. This made me break up a bit. Very sad. Not because he died, but because I missed it. Don't feel bad for Francis though. He broke one of the most important rules of D&D. No, we always do that. We're not savages. He split the party and let's not forget, he's really annoying. Fighting the god is supposed to be a special and intense battle. It is not. The reason it is not is, well, it's the pace. The pace was, I guess you could say that, in the same way watching grass grow is amazing. Originally, this video was going to be about a player and DM arguing over CR during a battle. I actually had that one mostly written, but then I played with Torbit. Torbit is a rules lawyer, and in his defense, he will remind the DM of things that are bad for him. He's also got a little bit of general in him, but not too bad. He is, however, a prime example of the biggest mistake even good rules lawyers make. He never, ever shuts up. It is rare for anyone's turn to go by without Torbit saying something. Now, Torbit is rarely wrong, but as I said, he really never stops talking.
Know your role. Shut your mouth.
I know what you're probably thinking. Oh, Rules Newbie got a taste of his own medicine and he doesn't like it. Boo-hoo. And I deserve that. I know I shouldn't interrupt others to point out the rules, but when a player wants to say, cast a spell using Arcana and not a spell slot, I cannot help myself. I have evolved as a rules lawyer though, and I have Torbit to thank for that. When he really started going at it, I took a look at myself and didn't like what I saw. Now, even when I'm 100% sure I'm right, I'm still willing to admit I could be wrong. This comes about because the last time I was 100% sure I was right, guess what?
Wrong, 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 wrong. Wrong, 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 wrong.
Yeah, I was wrong. I felt like a fool. Luckily, I'm not wrong that often. I don't want to be a Torbit, so I'll back off on the rules lawyering a bit. Don't get me wrong now. I'm still bringing things up, like when I was restrained and the god missed me, I reminded the DM he had advantage. Though for the most part, I'm going to hold my tongue as much as my rules lawyer self will let me do it. Torbit, not so much. Like I said, he has to talk on everybody's turn. Sometimes it's alright, like reminding the DM he gets a saving throw against Torbit's spell. Sometimes it's just plain annoying. Most of the time actually. But sometimes, just sometimes, it's still annoying, but it is funny as can be. Like him trying to teach Francis how to play his new character. Let me set the scene for you because this is great. In retrospect at least, when it was happening, I was pretty annoyed. The god has died, and we're in a cave that's collapsing. We've got to get out. Francis is now a monk, a level 10 monk. Francis has no clue how to play a monk, so Torbit has been trying to help him. For example, monks get extra attacks and can do unarmed strikes as a bonus action. They're cool. I like monks a lot. Francis does one attack on his turn. Torbit explains to him about extra attacks and flurry of blows, meaning Francis can get 3 to 4 attacks on his turn. Francis forgets this on every single one of his turns. The first round this happens, both Torbit and I explain to him about the extra attacks. Well, then it happens again on each of Francis's next 2 turns. I decide it's not worth it, but Torbit explains the exact same thing each time. It was kind of like this.
But why male models?
You serious? I just told you that a moment ago.
Francis is annoyed and sick of Torbit telling him what to do. Look, I know it's petty, but this amused me to no end. Francis decides to do just one attack on his turn, to show Torbit what's up. That'll teach him. Don't get me wrong, Torbit's constant talking is very obnoxious, but as I've shown in my other videos, Francis is not the most mature of players. If it ended there, I wouldn't have changed this video. But guess what? Almost the exact same scenario happened after the battle. The god is dead, and the cavern is collapsing. We've got to get out of there. Monks are fast. At level 10, they get an extra 20 feet of movement and can double dash using key points. Francis doesn't seem to understand this. He gets 100 feet of movement in a turn with a dash, and since he has no key points left, that's it. It's still more than any of us. Torbit explains this to him, but Francis just doesn't seem to get it. As I said, Francis is already super annoyed. He is not happy with people telling him what to do. I decide I'm going to hold my tongue, and I really planned on it. I was not going to say anything. That is until the third time they had the exact same conversation.
But why male models?
This time, Francis has been hit by a boulder and was knocked down. Remember how Francis has 100 feet of movement with a dash? He doesn't. Torbit keeps explaining that once Francis gets up, he can move 75 feet. It is a complicated math equation, and Francis just doesn't get it. They have spent about 5 minutes talking about it on just this turn alone. I've had enough. After Francis asks yet again how he has 75 feet of movement, I talk over both of them and explain it as simply as I can. I'd like to say Francis got it. I'd like to, but I'd be lying. He doesn't get it, and he moves 30 feet, which is what he thinks he can. I give up. We all make it out and have one more god to kill. I'm ready for this campaign to be over, so I'm good with this. I really should be thankful to Torbit, though. He's taught me a lot. Not what he's trying to teach me, but a lot nonetheless. I've grown as a player thanks to him. On one turn, Torbit was actually wrong. It was about when you can drop concentration on a spell. He said it had to be on your turn, and I know you can do it at any time. I even looked it up just to be sure. Guess what I did? The old me would have called him out in a heartbeat, but I've learned. Despite really wanting to show him he doesn't know everything, I held my tongue because I knew it would just take time away from the game, and besides a little bit of satisfaction, what good would it do? Hope I don't have to turn in my rules lawyer card now. What do you think? Is it okay to be a rules lawyer sometimes, or should you always wait until after the session? Let me know in the comments. Also, don't forget, if you have a good idea for a new name for a good rules lawyer, let me know that too. Thanks for watching, and as always, play your character. Don't let your character play you.